Hello, Maker of Minnesota friends and fans. We have a very special event coming up. I'm hosting a series of Makers of Minnesota dinners at the Lexington in St. Paul, and I'm so excited. Not only will you be front and center with some of the best makers in the Twin Cities, but you'll be treated to a 3-course dinner, compliments of Chef Antonio from the Lexington, and he'll be using the featured makers' ingredients in all the courses that he's making for this special event. Our September dinner is Tuesday, September 28th, and tickets are $98. Our featured makers are the talented folks from Alemar Cheese, Red Table Meats, Bakersfield Flour and Bread, and Tres Leches in the Food Building in Northeast Minneapolis. We will be the exclusive diners in the restaurant for the entire evening, and you will mingle with me and your favorite makers and taste their wonderful products. And a special treat, you can even pre-order the first ever Makers of Minnesota holiday box filled with my favorite products from makers all around the Twin Cities. We'll have a limited number of tickets for this special event, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to thelexmn.com and sign up via Eventbrite for the first Makers of Minnesota dinner featuring the talented makers of the food building, including the delicious cheese from Alemar Cheese, breads from Bakersfield Flour and Bread, meats from Red Table Meats and Elixirs, and tinctures from Tres Leches. Get your tickets now at thelexmn.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Makers of Minnesota podcast, where we talk to cool people doing cool things. I'm Stephanie Hansen, and I am involved in a cool project that I'm excited to share with you guys. We are going to be having makers dinners that are going to be featuring Minnesota makers that are going to be happening at the Lexington. We're going to be having one at the last Tuesday of September, the last Tuesday of October, and the last Tuesday of November. And our first September dinner is really featuring all of the folks in the food building in Northeast that are working with Chef Antonio to put together a Minnesota-centric menu and also take these wonderful products that food building is making with the individual vendors and turn them into delicious bites and treats and snacks for you guys to have with us at the Lexington. I'm here today with Alexandra Adams, and she is the cheesemonger and cheese maker. Are you a monger and a maker, Alexandra, if you're a maker?
So a monger is someone who has extensive cheese knowledge and sells cheese, usually from behind a counter. I do have some cheesemongering experience, but our fellow cheesemaker, my partner, Charlotte, she has lots of cheesemongering and cheese making experience. So the making is taking the milk and turning it into cheese. And the mongering is the knowledge and the sale of cheese and artisan cheese especially.
Okay, that was a really awesome explanation. Thank you. Alexandra is with Alemar Cheese Company, and that is located in Food Building. And Alexandra, you guys were one of the original people in Food Building, which is a collective of food makers in a building that Kieran Folliard put together. You guys have been there. Have you been there since the beginning, or was it shortly thereafter?
It was shortly thereafter. So Kieran has been a family friend of my dad, who is owner and founder of Alemar Cheese. And so we go back with Kieran a while. We've always, believed in his integrity. We've enjoyed his restaurants, his products. And we found out that there was a creamery in that space, in that food building space that was unoccupied. And we didn't own our building back in Mankato. So we were looking for something bigger. We were looking for something that was more streamlined and nicer. And this creamery was custom built out to be in the food building. So now we kind of have all these shiny toys and wonderful equipment that we are growing into. And it's fantastic to really use equipment, a facility that was designed to make artisan cheese and quite a bit of it if we feel like it.
Right. Do you have like a core line of cheese and then you do seasonal varieties?
Yes. So our very first cheese is Bent River Camembert.
And can I just stop for a second and have a sigh of like, yum? Because that is a fantastic cheese.
Thank you so much. We've placed multiple times in the American Cheese Society for that cheese. making it, we got second and third in all of North America. And the year we
Wow.
got second, I don't believe they gave out first. So that we were best in show for Camembert
Wow.
because they had not awarded a first place winner. So that's pretty exciting. But Bent River came on the market in 2009 and sort of became an out of the park success because we got some notoriety fairly early on with ACS, and really quickly we were adopted early by a lot of different folks, from Certix to a few other local cheese shops. For a while there, we were working directly with Lunds and Byerly's when we were a little baby company. And the success of that Bent River Camembert led us to our next project, which was Blue Earth Brie.
And that brie, I know I do some work with the Salad Girl salad dressing company, and they love that brie.
Oh, we love their dressing.
Yeah, they've used it in a couple of recipes. And then from there, so you've got Camembert, you've got brie, and then what's next?
The next thing my dad did was make Good Thunder, which is our beer wash cheese. In the beginning, we approached Surly. I think they had 11 employees at the time. It was a very different time. They were like these cool dudes blasting music, making beer. And we reached out to them and said, hey, we reached out to Surly and said, hey, we're a little business too. Would you be interested in making something for us or giving us some beer to test? We ended at Surly Bender, and we used that for many years until it was discontinued. And now we are currently using from Arbeiter Brewing Company, which is in Minneapolis. We are using their Nachtreiter, which is a black beer, and Nacht is German for night. And Arbeiter, Arbeit in German is also work. And we believe in work, hard work, and putting work into the cheese. So that's the current brew that we're using right now.
Has the coronavirus pandemic changed things for you? Because I imagine you had a lot of restaurant accounts, and then you had retail as well, and kind of you got hit on all fronts. How is the recovery going?
Well, I will say people were craving comfort food, which is a good thing, but they weren't necessarily buying a wheel of Camembert to serve because we weren't having people over.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely missed out on our restaurant accounts. People, even if they were getting delivery, weren't ordering a cheese plate to their house. That's just not part of the experience of having cheese or charcuterie, is sitting, often having wine or something else paired with the cheese, with the meat. And no one was ordering a curated cheese board to their door, even if we're ordering food from local restaurants. So we saw somewhat of a downturn there, and we just pivoted the best we could. And there were a few different places, Lunds being one of them, Certix, that were buying up quite a bit of cheese, continuing to sell well. But we also ended up doing a CSA program that I took under my arm and put together 2 rounds of boxes of cheese. And these cheese boxes were picked up every 2 weeks by customers. And each box had between 3 and 4 of the Alemar cheeses, from Bent River, Blue Earth to Good Thunder. And then some of the rest of the Alemar family were in those boxes as well.
Do you think you'll continue that?
This year, we are growing happily. So for the holiday season, we probably won't do a CSA box, but we very well may do a Thanksgiving or Christmas box. Those things are a little more manageable because there's one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And we did do that last year, and people really liked the Thanksgiving version of that. So even though we won't do CSA boxes this year in 2021 anymore, we will probably have at least a holiday box pickup option.
Maybe we'll have the ability to have a sign up for you for your box at the makers event that we do at the Lex, because I think that would be a good way to pre-sales. That's what I'm looking for. Pre-sale.
Yeah, exactly. A pre-order.
Yeah. So I know you guys are going to be out at the event. If you want to get people signed up for pre-orders, I think that would be a great opportunity at that event.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, we love the Lex, and we're really excited to do that and do it with our friends from the rest of the food building.
Yeah. When you think about pairings from the food building, are there particular items that you have for sale in the market or things that are being prepared in Kieran's kitchen that you are really proud of?
Oh, absolutely. So Kieran's Kitchen is the only place that sells our entire line, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It has Camembert Brie, Good Thunder. We are releasing Cicada just about now. We're doing it a little early this year. Typically, we wait until September.
And what is Cicada for those that don't know?
Absolutely. So Cicada is a small square in the sort of Brie family based on a cheese called La Bonnat, which is a French cheese that I believe is traditionally washed in brandy, but we wash it with apple brandy and use Minnesota leaves to wrap the outside. So it's a geotrichium rind, which is going to be a little less sort of fuzzy than the Camembert, for example. Lasts a little longer, but mostly Cicada is beautiful. It's very, very good to look at, and it's very tasty. We're working with Tattersall for our apple brandy.
Yum.
Apple brandy and put our grape leaves, which we're getting from Axbridge Winery. And then our milkman also, he happens to have a large garden. And in addition to using our whey to help tend that garden, he's giving us some of his grape leaves. So we're using grape leaves from his sort of rural house area. And then we're using grape leaves from Axbridge, which is a newer wine company in the North Loop.
That is so cool. So cool. So are you guys, does Alemar use some of your cheeses in their pastas that they make?
Oh, definitely. They've done Good Thunder, St. James, Bent River, and Blue Earth Brie and Fromage Blanc in their products.
Yeah, I've had some really delicious pasta from them, and I think it was filled with your cheese. So that was exciting too. Well, I am really excited to feature you guys at this Lexington dinner. People can get tickets. If you listen to, I'll do a follow-up here because tickets haven't been released yet, but they're going to be released later this week. And I will include it in the show notes, and I will include it on my social media and tag you guys so that people know where to get tickets when they become available. I think we're capping it at 100 per dinner. So should be a great event. Thank you to you and all of the folks at Alemar for participating. And I can't wait to try your holiday box. I'm excited about it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having us. Really happy to be a part of the dinner and the podcast.
Thank you, Alexandra. And you can find all of these great makers in Food Building. You can also try their products at Kieran's Kitchen. You can also order from them directly or go. I don't know if a lot of people are aware yet that Food Building has but a big area that they've converted into like a market. So it's like a deli grab and go case. Also cheeses that you can get and breads and the delicious pasta that I was speaking of. So head over there next time you need a meal because it is awesome. Thanks, Alexandra.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so now that you've heard from Alexandra Adams from Alemar Cheese, I bet you are as excited as I am to taste their delicious cheese. Join me for the first ever Makers in Minnesota dinner at the Lexington in St. Paul on Grand Avenue. I can't wait to meet you and introduce you to some of my favorite Twin Cities makers. So get your tickets at thelexmn.com. But hurry, this special event won't be available long. We will sell out the restaurant for this special evening so that you can try the delicious cheeses from Alemar Cheese, and all the other products from our friends at the Food Building will be there.